he's going to have to get used to very high. These guys have been playing against the highest level competition here too. So it'll be a good challenge, a good way to develop yourself, to be in college, get your education, play good baseball in a fun environment, and not have to starve. Yeah, he could, but don't forget, there's also facilities he can practice in, and he could do a lot while he's not, like, even if there's not competitive games, you could play off, you can go in and work out and get used to the school and all that stuff. And summer leagues and stuff like that as well. Like, there's enough opportunity to play baseball, depending where he goes. I assume he's going to go to a place, pretty much a baseball hotbed, that he'll have a lot of opportunities. Does he know where he's looking at yet? It depends a lot. It depends on the school. It depends who's ahead of them in the lineup. It depends on a bunch of different things. There are definitely opportunities for freshmen to play. There are freshmen that play, and there are some that they get blocked because there's another player there that maybe they take that time to develop and they don't get as much playing time, but then they'll play a lot their sophomore and junior year. There's not a hurry, but as a hitter, you're definitely a lot of you can definitely play as a freshman, no doubt. Yeah, it's good. I mean, it's definitely a big jump, but I've seen him swing, so I think he'll be able to make that jump really well. I mean, power will translate, but he's going to have to get used to very high. These guys have been playing against the highest level competition here too, so it'll be a good challenge, a good way to develop yourself. And college baseball is at very, very high level here. I mean, it's basically, I'm guessing it's kind of equivalent to something like a AA team. But they're guys that are. Last year, I thought Paul Skeens was pitching at he could have pitched for any major league team during the season and done very well for himself. He's basically reminds me a little bit of Garrett Cole or somebody. He's that good, and he was pitching against college players all year last year. So you have guys that could absolutely, no doubt, play for professional major league teams right away, and then there's some that can't. And also, I think scouts tend to like, or teams tend to like guys, aside from, there are some guys that are obvious when they're in college are going to be drafted high. But if you've proven it in college, the jump's a little easier because they've gotten to see you more. They've gotten to see you under pressure more. College baseball is significantly tougher than high school baseball because you're playing, high school baseball, there may be one or two guys that play college on a team, other than some teams like, back in the day, Jack Flaherty, Lucas Giolito, and Lucas Giolito, Max Fried, and Jack Flaherty all pitch for the same high school team. So you get guys like that do it. But generally, most high school teams have a couple of college players on it if you're a good team. And then other than that, there are a lot of just high school players. In college, all of them are by definition college players. So you're going to get more thorough, the lineup's dominated by good folks. Yeah, so a lot of times freshmen will stay in dorms, and there's usually a dorm dedicated to whatever. There may be a baseball dorm or a dorm where most of the team plays, just to make it easier, and maybe be closer to the stadium. You're usually allowed to, again, it varies by school, but you're usually allowed to go get an apartment, and a lot of them just room together with another baseball player and have their own apartment. My son stayed at a house with a bunch of other baseball players. They called it the baseball house. And it's traditionally rented out to a group of baseball players. So they got to, then you can order everything. Like, you're just ordering stuff like you and I would, Grubhubbing, all that stuff. You basically can do anything you want. It changes a ton. So especially at baseball is not the highest revenue college sport here. So for football and for basketball, there are players that are making a ton of money. Some will do that in baseball. If you go to a big school and you're a big name, you can make a good bit of money on NIL deals. But there are guys, I'm looking at University of North Carolina. We have a player who has stayed now for his 5th year, and he could have been drafted by the NBA, probably at a lower second rounder and played internationally, but he decided to stay at UNC to play basketball because he can make millions of dollars through NI, and he probably can make a lot doing that because it's not often that you get a big name international star coming to college. There could be a lot more opportunities than what I'm thinking. It's like, usually it's limited to the Paul Skeneses of the world or Jack Caglione for Florida. Some of the big names, Chase Burns, who's going to be pitching for Wake. So you get some of these big names that they could get paid a good bit. It's hard to do it as somebody coming into college. Well, CeCe Sabathia's kid was in some advertising. He plays at Georgia Tech, and he has done some advertising too for some baseball products with CeCe. So that it does happen. So there is a really good opportunity for that. Yeah, it's great. I mean, obviously it introduces some tricky stuff because people will start paying athletes to go to their school. They've always kind of done that under the table. It's illegal, but people have gotten in trouble for it and done it before. But now having it legal to do it is a big deal. Like, why should you be forced to go to play minor league baseball or to sign with a major league team to make any money? This way, you can also get paid to be in college, get your education, play good baseball in a fun environment, and not have to starve. Like, I think it's good. I mean, college athletes are treated pretty well too. If you go to these facilities, I say starve, they're treated really well. I mean, Vanderbilt's facility is really good. All these major schools' facilities are really good. So he'd have fun just doing that. The problem with in the minor leagues, they ride around on buses. It's pretty crappy life. Like, they don't get a lot of money for food. They eat a lot of fast food. Don't have necessarily the best training either. They just play a lot of games. In college, the training's really good. The food's really good. The environment's great. You get to be a kid a little bit longer versus traveling on buses with 25-year-olds. I think it's a good route to do. I think college baseball's fun.